Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into a very useful and often misunderstood tense, the present perfect. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know how you are enjoying these lessons. Now let's get started. The present perfect tense is used to connect the past with the present. It's like a bridge that shows how past actions or events are relevant to now. So how do we form it? It's simple. The present perfect is a verb tense which is used to show that an action has taken place once or many times before now. It is most frequently used to talk about experiences or changes that have taken place, but there are other less common uses as well. The present perfect is formed using has or have plus the past participle. Questions are indicated by inverting the subject and has or have. Negatives are made with not. To make a positive sentence, we can say, "Have you seen that movie many times?" To make a question sentence, we can say, "Have you seen that movie many times?" And to make a negative sentence, we can say, "You have not seen that movie many times." One of the main usages is to say that an action happened at an unspecified time before now. The exact time is not important. You cannot use the present perfect with specific time expressions such as yesterday, 1 year ago, last week, when I was a child, when I lived in Japan, at that moment, that day, and one day, etc. But we can use the present perfect with unspecific expressions such as ever, never, once, many times, several times, before, so far, already, and yet. An example is, "I have seen that movie 20 times. I think I have met him once before." There have been many earthquakes in California. People have travelled to the moon. People have not travelled to Mars. Have you read the book yet? Nobody has ever climbed that mountain. How do you actually use the present perfect? The concept of unspecified time can be very confusing to English learners. It is best to associate present perfect with the following topics. Firstly, experience. You can use the present perfect to describe your experience. It's like saying, "I have the experience of blah blah blah." You can also use the tense to say that you have never had a certain experience. The present perfect is not used to describe a specific event. For example, "I have been to Spain." This sentence means that you have had the experience of being in Spain. Maybe you've been there once or several times. Another example is, "I have been to Spain 3 times. You can add the number of times at the end of the sentence. "I have never been to Spain." This sentence means that you have not had the experience of going to Spain. "I think I've seen that movie before." He has never travelled by train. John has studied 2 foreign languages. Have you ever met him? No. I have not met him. The second thing we can use it for is change over time. We often use the present perfect to talk about change that has happened over a period of time. Some examples are, you have grown up since the last time I saw you. The government has become more interested in arts education. Japanese has become one of the most popular courses at the university since the Asian Studies program was established. And my English has really improved since I moved to Australia. The third way we can use it is through accomplishments. We often use the present perfect to list the accomplishments of individuals and humanity. You cannot mention a specific time. Some examples are, man has walked on the moon. Our son has learned how to read. Doctors have cured many deadly diseases. Scientists have split the atom. A fourth usage is an uncompleted action that you are expecting to happen. We often use the present perfect to say that an action which we expected has not happened. Using the present perfect suggests that we are still waiting for the action to happen. The examples are, James has not finished his homework yet. Susan hasn't mastered Japanese, but she can communicate. Bill has not arrived. The rain has stopped. A fifth usage is multiple actions at different times. We also use it to talk about several different actions which have occurred in the past at different times. It suggests the process is not complete and more actions are possible. And again, examples can be, the army has attacked that city 5 times. I have had 4 quizzes and 5 tests so far this semester. We have had many major problems while working on this project. She has talked to several specialists about her problem, but nobody knows why she is sick. We can use the present perfect for time expressions. When we use the present perfect, it means that something has happened at some point in our lives before now. Remember, the exact time the action happened is not important. Sometimes we want to limit the time we are looking in for an experience. We can do this with expressions such as in the last week, in the last year, this week, this month, so far, and up to now. Examples, have you been in Mexico for the last year? I have seen that movie 6 times in the last month. They have had 3 tests in the last week. She graduated from university less than 3 years ago. She has worked for 3 different companies so far. My car has broken down 3 times this week. Now notice, last year and in the last year are very different in meaning. Last year means the year before now, and it is considered a specific time which requires the simple past. In the last year means from 365 days ago until now. It is not considered a specific time, so it requires present perfect. Some examples of this are, I went to Mexico last year. This is, I went to Mexico in the calendar year before this one. I have been to Mexico in the last year. And this means I have been to Mexico at least once at some point between 365 days ago and now. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand the present perfect tense a little bit better. And as with anything, the key to mastering the present perfect tense is practice. Use it in your daily conversations and writings. If you need more help with your English, go to my website where you can see how I can help you. Thanks for joining me today. Keep practicing and remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon.